The government of the Republic of Kenya hosted the Africa Fertilizer and Soil Health Summit in May 7 to 9, 2024 at the Kenyatta International Conference Center, KICC, in Nairobi, Kenya. This was an African Union meeting which brought together the African heads of state and government, ministers responsible for foreign affairs and agriculture, high-ranking government officials, senior policymakers, and private sector players. Other participants included representatives of farmers' organizations and development agencies, including NGOs, scholars and scientists, and representatives of leading donor organizations. The objective of the summit was to highlight the crucial role of fertilizer and soil health in stimulating pro-poor productivity growth in African agriculture and to agree on an African fertilizer and soil health action plan as well as the Soils Initiative for Africa. Welcome to Suya e-learning for food security, climate change, school feeding program, nutrition education for all. When you have bad governance and poor accountability from your local government leaders, then you are doomed to live under control of cartels and fools. We hope you subscribe to our channel YouTube at Suya Mombasa and share this link with your friends or family. The objective of the summit is to bring together all relevant stakeholders to highlight the crucial role of fertilizer and soil health in stimulating sustainable pro-poor productivity growth in African agriculture and to agree on an African fertilizer and soil health action plan, as well as the Soils Initiative for Africa. Expected outcomes. It is expected that a 10-year action plan to be endorsed, which will deliver concrete recommendations for steps to be taken by African leaders and stakeholders over the next 10 years. The action plan will provide a focus for new policies and investments that will enable farmers to work toward rebuilding soil health and ultimately increase yield responses and profitability of fertilizers. It is also expected that the action plan will be endorsed by leading private and public sector partners across all African countries, with the following: 1. Nairobi Declaration. 2. 10-year action plan. 3. Soil Initiative for Africa, SIA. 4. Mechanism to finance the action plan, post-summit implementation process. Soil Food Web Approach. After discovering the Soil Food Web Approach, nature's soil operating system, nearly 4 decades ago, and pioneering research in the field, Dr. Elaine Ingham is recognized as the foremost soil biologist in the world. The complete soil food web can be found in virgin soils around the world. Dr. Elaine's Soil Food Web Approach is the key to rapid and effective soil regeneration. Only with the complete soil food web in place can the ecological functions of the soil be restored, protecting and purifying the world's waterways, reversing climate change and providing super-nutritious foods. Using soil amendments, most soils can be regenerated in the first growing season. An estimated more than $4 billion in soil nutrients is lost each year. However, many African farmers still do not have access to fertilizers or cannot afford the inputs required to bring life back into their soils and halt the downward spiral of environmental deterioration. Empty soils, empty stomachs, empty livelihoods.
African presidents have endorsed the Nairobi Declaration on Fertilizer and Soil Health, committing to prioritize its domestic fertilizer production and triple it in the next 10 years to boost agricultural production. The heads of state adopted the declaration at the second Africa Fertilizer and Soil Health Summit held in Kenya under the leadership of President William Ruto and the chairperson of the African Union Commission, AUC, Musa Faki Mahamat, under the theme, "Listen to the Soil." 3. We commit to tripling domestic production and distribution of certified quality organic and inorganic fertilizers by 2034 to improve access and affordability for smallholder farmers. This will be actualized through prioritizing local production and blending of mineral fertilizers using locally available raw materials. Reads the Nairobi Declaration in part.
Solutions to infections and attacks. Remember that these fungi and pests are attracted to plants with a low pH. Calcium, lime, soft carbon, and microbes for plant growth and soil health. Calcium is the insect's enemy. Young leaves have less calcium than spur leaves, so the aphids go after them. Eliminating pest and disease. Increase mineral uptake and balance with silicic acid. Raise the internal pH of the plant by providing more bioavailable forms of calcium and potassium. Increase the Brix level by providing absorbable L-amino acids and increasing mineralization within the plant. Leaf Brix, stem Brix, flower Brix and root Brix can all be measured with a Brix refractometer. The results will reveal the amount of sugar being produced by photosynthesis at that moment and the storage of sugar. It gives you a window into the inside of the plant saying, how well is it photosynthesizing? And once you determine how well it's photosynthesizing, that is a direct result of how healthy it is, Tom says. "34 African heads of state and government along with scores of ministers and international partners came together in Dakar to mobilize investment and move forward plans to harness Africa's immense agricultural potential. Technology is key to transformation. Many of the presidents at Dakar too said that technology was key to increasing farmer yields across Africa. Although 60% of the world's uncultivated arable land is in Africa, smallholders would not need to cut down forests if they were able to increase the productivity on their existing farms. 34 African heads of state and government along with scores of ministers and international partners came together in Dakar to mobilize investment and move forward plans to harness Africa's immense agricultural potential. Technology is key to transformation. Many of the presidents at Dakar too said that technology was key to increasing farmer yields across Africa. Although 60% of the world's uncultivated arable land is in Africa, smallholders would not need to cut down forests if they were able to increase the productivity on their existing farms.
Fertilizer and soil treatment. Watering with waste decomposer solution significantly changes the biological as well as the physical properties of all type of soil within 21 days of application, and it also helps to generate earthworm population in the soil, which is so beneficial. You can dilute the waste decomposer in 1:2 ratio with water, that is 1 part waste decomposer to 2 parts water, and water your plants once every 15 days or even once in a month. This is also proven to control many soil-borne diseases in crops. Foliar spray, it acts as a potent biopesticide when sprayed on plants. You need to dilute it to 1:3 ration to use it as a foliar spray. This helps control a variety of fungal, bacterial and viral diseases in crops when sprayed once in 10 days for 4 times in the growth cycle of a crop.
Standing success story.
Thank you very much. In Zimbabwe, we have adopted basic philosophy, which is village philosophy. 1, we say a country must be ruled by the people of that country. 2, a country must be developed by the people of that country. 3, a country must eat what it kills. That is village wisdom. Now, in Zimbabwe, we have problems of food insecurity, and we said, how much food do we want per year to feed our country? We know we need about 2 million metric tons of grain. So we say, because there is climate change, how many hectares of land can we put under irrigation to produce the 2 million plus metric tons to feed the nation? And we determine how much yield does a hectare have. Once you've done that, you now know how many hectares you must put under irrigation to achieve the amount of grain you want to feed your nation in spite of climate change. That we have done, and we are now food secure. Secondly, we have been importing our wheat from Ukraine, our fertilizer from Russia. Now that side is problematic. So we decided to say we need about 240,000 metric tons of wheat. So how many hectares do we want under irrigation to grow wheat? And we calculated and put that number of hectares under wheat. We are now wheat sufficient. And we believe that next season we should be able to export wheat. We got the fertilizer which we are getting from Russia. We decided to find out what makes fertilizer. We discovered that because of the colonial mentality, we thought fertilizer was produced elsewhere. We have the materials in the country, and 3-4 months ago we've begun producing our own fertilizer. Fourth, it is necessary that we harvest water.
The producer and reporter of Fertile Deception is Cynthia Gichiri, an award-winning Kenyan investigative journalist and multimedia storyteller. Gichiri says Fertile Deception brings to light the glaring system failure of government agencies in protecting the consumer, who is the ultimate victim of corruption in Kenya. She adds that the fact that the product under investigation bore the government standardization mark and was also being sold through a government agency and not private entities shows how deep the connection between government officials and unscrupulous businessmen goes. This, she says, also proves the fears many Kenyans have had over the years about dubious dealings between politicians, governments, and corrupt individuals, which eventually put the citizens at risk.
To care for the soil, we must understand that it is made of both living and non-living parts. The non-living parts of the soil are formed from broken down rock and decaying plant and animal material, such as leaves that have fallen on the soil and begun to rot. The living parts are the tiny creatures that live in the soil. Some of these, such as termites, worms and beetles, are large enough for us to see, but most are too small to see without a microscope. We call these microbes, and they include millions of tiny bacteria and fungi. Microbes and soil fertility. Microbes are very important for improving soil fertility. They take the non-living parts of the soil and convert them into nutrients that can be used by plants. Chemical fertilizers, apart from being expensive and hard to access, can kill microbes. This is one of the reasons that they reduce soil fertility in the long term.
According to data from the Kenyan National Bureau of Statistics, the overall price index of farm inputs has increased from 98.6 points in 2019 to 167.3 points in 2022, reflecting higher prices of inputs such as fuel, fertilizer, seeds, and manufactured feeds. Risk of additional food shortages. Second, rising input prices raise the risk of further food shortages. As input prices rise, some, particularly poorer, farmers will be unable to buy them and will choose to do without or with less. In the absence of other changes to farming practices, this lowers yields. This, in turn, reduces food availability, putting further upward pressure on prices and farmer incomes, and the effect will again likely be largest for lower-income farmers, particularly in Africa. When Russia invaded Ukraine in February 2022, fertilizer prices already were on the rise. The coronavirus, COVID-19, pandemic, with its ensuing supply chain disruptions and transportation bottlenecks, had challenged the world's ability to produce and deliver fertilizer. In the aftermath of Russia's invasion of Ukraine, global powers imposed trade restrictions such as bans, quotas, and duties on fertilizer, affecting fertilizer trade and agricultural production, particularly for staple grains. Key messages. Cost of routinely used chemical fertilizers has been increasing tremendously and draws KES 35 billion from Kenya exchequer annually. It impacts poor consumers through reduced food availability, increased prices, and decreased nutritional content. Biofertilizers provide a more cost-effective, sustainable and environmental-friendly alternative. Up to KES 7 billion and 250 M can be saved if Kenya adopted use of biofertilizers in cereals and legumes respectively. Current law and policy regulatory framework for biofertilizers is weak. Small-scale farmers comprising of over 75% of all farmers heavily rely on the sector as their main source of livelihood. In Kenya, biofertilizers are mainly used in the flour industry.
Improved investment, policies, finance and markets. 2. Improved access and affordability to organic and inorganic fertilizers. 3. Greater efficiency, resilience and sustainable use of organic and inorganic fertilizer inputs. Enhancement of soil health interventions. 4. Institutional and human capacity enhanced for sustainable soil health and fertilizer management.
Bacteria and fungi are called decomposers because they break down the dead and decaying organic matter into simpler substances such as carbon dioxide, water, simple sugars, and mineral salts and provide the nutrients back to the soil. Why is fungi considered a decomposer? Fungi secrete enzymes that can break down complex organic compounds like carbohydrates and proteins into simpler components with the release of energy. These fungal decomposers, alongside their saprobic bacterial allies, absorb only a small amount of these nutrients and energy for their own use. The use of beneficial microorganisms as a biofertilizer is quite important in crop production due to their potential role in food safety and sustainable soil management. Crop production biofertilizers consists of a wide range of eco-friendly plant growth promoter etc. The industrialization of the agricultural sector has increased the chemical burden on natural ecosystems. Pesticides are agrochemicals used in agricultural lands, public health programs, and urban green areas in order to protect plants and humans from various diseases. However, due to their known ability to cause a large number of negative health and environmental effects, their side effects can be an important environmental health risk factor. Potential benefits, yes, but Kenya's biofertilizer sector is troubled. Low demand due to lack of awareness and understanding of biofertilizers has resulted in poor development of the biofertilizer sector. Moreover, local production remains a challenge, not only because of the cost of production, but also the limited demand, as well as poor delivery mechanisms that could be associated with the particular requirements for handling, storage conditions. The potential benefits of biofertilizers remain largely untapped due to inadequate national policy and regulatory framework. Lack of a quality control framework for biofertilizers has been consistent with poor quality of these inputs in the market, resulting in low demand and poor field performance.
The biofertilizer quality control measures should be evaluated for the quality standards. Inoculant should be carrier-based or liquid-based. The inoculant should contain minimum of 108 viable cells of bioinoculant, G of carrier on dry weight basis when it is stored at 25 to 30 degrees Celsius. The inoculant should have at least 6 months shelf life from the manufacturing date in case of carrier-based and 9 months in case of liquid-based. The pH of inoculant should be between 6.0 and 7.5 pH. Inoculant should show effective nodulation, nitrogen fixed on particular crop before expiry date. The carrier material should be in the form of powder, i.e. peat, lignite, peat soil, and humus, etc.
Fertilizer means any substance or mixture of substances which is intended or offered for improving or maintaining the growth of plants or the productivity of the soil, but does not include manure, compost, wood ash, gypsum or refuse when sold in its original condition and under the same name, nor does it include organic fertilizers, other than lime. Challenges the legal mandate to regulate biofertilizers among the other mentioned products is not available. As a result, a streamlined structure to ensure consistency in regulating these products in matters quality and marketplace monitoring is not available. Because of this, KICC has managed to invest a section of their resources towards regulation of these products, but still has constraints, especially with having a laboratory for testing the product's identity, quality, safety, and efficacy. Abiotic stress is the adverse effect of any abiotic factor on a plant in a given environment, impacting plant's growth and development. These stress factors, such as drought, salinity, and extreme temperatures, are often interrelated or in conjunction with each other. Abiotic stress refers to the adverse effect of any abiotic factor on a plant in a given environment, resulting in a range of responses, from changes affecting biological processes such as gene expression and cell metabolism to growth and development.
By releasing enzymes that help plants absorb nutrients more effectively. Soil health. By breaking down organic matter, trichoderma enhances soil fertility and structure, which supports sustainable farming practices. Resilience to stress. Plants treated with trichoderma often show increased tolerance to environmental stress.
Trichoderma is a very effective biological mean for plant disease management, especially the soil-borne related diseases. It is a free-living fungus, which is common in soil and root ecosystems. Can trichoderma be sprayed on leaves? Foliar application. Trichoderma can also be applied to the leaves of plants as a foliar spray. This method is useful for controlling foliar pathogens, such as powdery mildew, and for stimulating plant growth and enhancing the plant's defense responses. Importance of soil temperature. Temperature to plant and soil microbes is as it is to human body. Higher soil temperature, burn organic matter. Kill microbes, which convert minerals from sustainable form to plant available form. Kill microbes, those protect plants. Evaporate over 80% water. This is one of the major causes for soil degradation. In nature, soil is never kept naked. It is only bare either due to nature catastrophe or where man impose his will. Bacillus species are rod-shaped, endospore-forming aerobic or facultatively anaerobic, gram-positive bacteria. In some species, cultures may turn gram-negative with age. The many species of the genus exhibit a wide range of physiologic abilities that allow them to live in every natural environment. Only one endospore is formed per cell. The spores are resistant to heat, cold, radiation, desiccation, and disinfectants. Biofertilizers play an important role in agriculture. The rhizosphere of crop soil is affected by biofertilizers and helps in promoting the growth of the crop. Biofertilizers are different from usual fertilizers because they do not contain harmful chemicals that may be toxic for crops and consumption. Biofertilizers work on the principle of natural interconnection between flora and fauna. With their help, humans utilize and improve naturally occurring processes such as nitrogen fixation by microorganisms, mobilizing and solubilizing nutrients with the help of microorganisms, intaking micronutrients and macronutrients, or stimulating natural growth hormones of plants or phytohormones. Therefore, it is important to understand the classification to identify how many types of biofertilizers are there. Bioenzyme fertilizers are very useful for plant growth. Repelling pests without using pesticides, by spraying the mixture of bioenzymes pest control products with water on the soil or on leaves will reduce insect, and it is a natural herbicide which helping the plants to grow well. Bioenzyme fertilizers can enhance photosynthesis in plants and increase soil's organic matter. As a result, plants will get more nutrients and their roots can absorb more air. Bioenzymes are key when it comes to building fertile soil. It is a natural fertilizer. It can make a barren land fertile.
Bioenzyme fertilizers can enhance photosynthesis in plants and increase soil's organic matter. As a result, plants will get more nutrients and their roots can absorb more air. Bioenzymes are key when it comes to building fertile soil. It is a natural fertilizer. Take citrus peels, jaggery and water in the ratio of 1:3:10 and 1 spoon of yeast. Note that you can also opt for the peels of carrot, pineapple, cucumber, sweet lime and lettuce for the preparation of bioenzymes. Mix all these ingredients in a plastic bottle or container with a screw bottle cap and leave it aside for 1 month. Do not fill the bottle or container to the brim. Bioenzyme natural at home urban plants. Since the bioenzyme cleaner mixture will produce gases, the bottle cap or lid should be opened and stirred at least once a day. Note that the solution should always be covered so that the fruit flies do not get into the bottle or container. Ferment the mixture for 1 month in anaerobic conditions of fir.
Presently, the global biofertilizer market is expanding due to the rising acceptance of efficient soil nutrient management practices such as the application of biofertilizers amongst farmers. Biofertilizers are preferred to chemical fertilizers because they are cost-effective, ecologically friendly, and guarantee sustainable agricultural production. There will come a time when only those that know how to plant will be eating. Chief Oran Lions. If you like African food systems content, please subscribe and share our channel with your friends and family. Or if you're new here, hit the subscribe button so you make sure to never miss our weekly presentation podcast. Agriculture is tool to create health, wealth, shelter, protect environment, food, nutrition and basic skills development for our local communities. Studies have shown that diets rich in calcium and phosphorus reduce the number of pathogens and increase the number of lactobacilli in the gut. 8-9. Gut microbes play a key role in animal health, including digesting food, metabolism, regulating immunity, and defending against invading pathogens. In the Vedic text it is mentioned that as long as cows' feeding and welfare care are not right, farmers of the nation will never prosper, the whole country will suffer. What are biofertilizers and its classification? Based on type of microorganism, the biofertilizer can also be classified as follows: bacterial biofertilizers, e.g. Rhizobium, Azospirillum, Azotobacter, Phosphobacteria. Fungal biofertilizers, e.g. mycorrhiza. Algal biofertilizers, e.g. blue-green algae, BGA, and Azolla. Actinomycetes biofertilizer, e.g. Frankia. What are the names of biofertilizers? Azospirillum, paddy. Azospirillum, other crops. Azospirillum, plantation crops. Rhizobium, groundnut. Rhizobium, pulses. Phosphobacteria, all crops. NP bio, all crops.
To care for the soil, we must understand that it is made of both living and non-living parts. The non-living parts of the soil are formed from broken down rock and decaying plant and animal material, such as leaves that have fallen on the soil and begun to rot. The living parts are the tiny creatures that live in the soil. Some of these, such as termites, worms and beetles, are large enough for us to see, but most are too small to see without a microscope. We call these microbes, and they include millions of tiny bacteria and fungi. Microbes and soil fertility. Microbes are very important for improving soil fertility. They take the non-living parts of the soil and convert them into nutrients that can be used by plants. Chemical fertilizers, apart from being expensive and hard to access, can kill microbes. This is one of the reasons that they reduce soil fertility in the long term.
What is Panchagavya? Well, it is nothing but a biofertilizer or organic growth stimulant made from natural ingredients to promote plant growth and safeguard the soil microorganisms. Why should we use this? Using this solution in farming preserves the reproductive and regenerative capacity of the soil, good plant nutrition, and improves disease resistance in plants. This also plays an important role in animal health and human health, as consumers are showing a lot of interest in organic farming, as the current agriculture sector is full of chemicals and pesticides. This is boosting the market for naturally made biofertilizers like Panchagavya. This can also be used as an organic growth stimulant in milch animals, goats, sheep, poultry, fish and pet animals. In this video, let us discuss the preparation and application of Panchagavya. Hi friends, welcome to Discover Agriculture YouTube channel. If you're not yet subscribed to our channel, please subscribe now. Panchagavya ingredients. To make 20 liters of Panchagavya solution, the following ingredients are required. 5 kilograms cow dung, 3 liters of cow urine, 2 liter cow milk, 2 liter cow curd, 1 kilogram cow ghee, 1 dozen well-ripened yellow banana, 3 liters of tender coconut water, and 3 liters of sugarcane juice or solution of half kilogram jaggery in 3 liters of water. Preparation process. Wide-mouthed mud pots or plastic tanks should be used for the preparation of Panchagavya solution. The above said and measured amount of cow dung and ghee should be added first into the selected container. This should be kept for about 3 to 4 days for fermentation process. On the 4th or 5th day, the remaining ingredients should be added to the container and kept for 7 to 8 more days. The ingredients in the container should be well mixed by stirring for 20 to 30 minutes. This stirring should be carried out both in the morning and evening to facilitate aerobic microbial activity. After 10 to 11 days of incubation, different concentrations should be prepared and used as a foliar spray for plants or crops. Physico-chemical properties of Panchagavya. The solution contains a pH value of 3.7 to 3.8, nitrogen of 1.28%, phosphorus of 0.72%, potassium of 2.23% and organic carbon of 17.45%. Preparation cost calculation. Generally, cost varies from 40 to 50 rupees for preparing 1 liter of Panchagavya. If you are planning to buy online, it may cost around 150 to 400 rupees based on brand and quality. As making this at home is very simple, it is better to prepare on your own for commercial crops. Beneficial commercial crops. Commercial crops such as rice, mango, lime, guava, banana, moringa, turmeric, jasmine, sugarcane and vegetable crops have responded very well to Panchagavya application. Apart from this, all other cash crops, fruit crops, herbal crops also get benefited from Panchagavya solution. Recommended dosage. The dosage of the solution depends on the treatment of crops or seeds. Storage of seeds. In this process, 3% of Panchagavya solution should be used to deep the seeds before drying and storing them for longer shelf life, bigger and more percentage of germination. Seedling treatment. Seedling treatment before sowing in the field is an important task to prevent any seed-borne or soil-borne pests and diseases. 3% of Panchagavya solution should be used to soak the seeds for 20 to 25 minutes. Rhizomes of ginger, turmeric, and sets of sugarcane should be soaked for 30 to 35 minutes before planting in the field. Spray system. In this method, 3% of Panchagavya solution is found to be most effective. Generally, 3 liters of Panchagavya per 100 liters of water is suitable for all agriculture crops. The power sprayers of 10-liter capacity may need 300 to 325 milliliters per tank. When sprayed with a power sprayer, sediments should be filtered. However, when sprayed with hand-operated sprayers, the nozzle with a high pore size should be used. Flow system. In this method, the Panchagavya solution should be mixed with irrigation water at 50 liters per hectare either through flow irrigation or drip irrigation system. Periodicity of spraying. Pre-flowering stage, spray Panchagavya once in 2 weeks, 2 sprays depending upon the duration of crops. Flowering and pod development stage, spray Panchagavya once in 9 to 10 days. Generally, 2 sprays are sufficient. Fruit or pod maturation stage. Spray Panchagavya once during the pod maturation phase. Health benefits on animals. Earthworms grow faster and can produce more vermicompost when treated with this Panchagavya solution. Adding Panchagavya in fish ponds will contribute to improved fish feed availability and thus result in increased fish growth and yield. Feeding cows with Panchagavya solution of 200 ml per cow per day results in good health and produce milk with high fat content. Apart from this, the rate of conception can also be increased, and the various common ailments can also be completely cured. Panchagavya solution effect is the same in sheep and goats as well. When mixed with the poultry feed or drinking water at 5 ml per bird per day, the birds will become disease-free and also this can contribute to laying larger eggs for longer periods. Especially in the broiler chickens, the weight gain is quick because of the high feed conversion ratio, FCR. Bottom line. This solution is very easy to prepare, economical and environmentally safe. As the organic farming sector is going to boom in the coming days, Panchagavya is definitely will play a vital role in this sector. Hope you like this video. Share this video with all friends and don't forget to subscribe Discover Agriculture YouTube channel. Thank you for watching this video. Have a nice day.
Cation exchange capacity, CEC, is a crucial soil property that measures the soil's ability to hold and exchange cations, which are positively charged ions. This capacity directly impacts soil fertility, as it determines how well essential nutrients such as calcium, magnesium, potassium, and sodium can be retained and made available to plants. High CEC soils can hold more cations, thus supporting better plant growth and agricultural productivity. Understanding CEC helps farmers and soil scientists optimize soil management practices, enhance crop yields, and maintain sustainable agricultural systems. This property is crucial because it affects the soil's capacity to supply essential nutrients to plants. Cations such as calcium, Ca², magnesium, mg², potassium, K, and sodium, Na, are vital for plant growth, and soils with higher CEC can hold more of these nutrients. Although all green plants make their food by photosynthesis, they also need to get nutrients from the soil. These dissolve in water and are taken up by the roots of the plant. The most important plant nutrients are nitrogen N, phosphorus P, and potassium K. Plants get their nutrients from the soil, water, and air through their roots and leaves. Plants absorb nutrients from the soil through their roots, which have root hairs that increase the surface area for nutrient absorption. Plants also have a symbiotic relationship with mycorrhizal fungi, which live in the soil or within the plant and help roots absorb nutrients more efficiently. The associations between roots and fungi are called mycorrhizae. These symbiotic arrangements have been found in about 90% of all land plants, and have been around for approximately 400 million years. Plant roots are hospitable sites for the fungi to anchor and produce their threads, hyphae. A mycorrhiza is a symbiotic association between a fungus and a plant. The term mycorrhiza refers to the role of the fungus in the plant's rhizosphere, the plant root system and its surroundings. Mycorrhizae play important roles in plant nutrition, soil biology, and soil chemistry. Arbuscular mycorrhiza fungi, AMF, are soil-borne fungi, which help plants take up water, nutrients, and also overcome abiotic stresses, Sunitol, 2018. There are two types of mycorrhizae, endomycorrhiza and ectomycorrhiza. AM fungi induce a signal transduction process in root cells that overlaps with the root nodule symbiosis and involves the induction and decoding of calcium signatures. 7 plant genes have been cloned that are required for these signaling processes in AM and root nodule symbiosis. Arbuscular mycorrhiza fungi, AMF, are soil-borne fungi, which help plants take up water, nutrients, and also overcome abiotic stresses. How does AMF affect plant growth? Effect of arbuscular mycorrhizal fungi, AMF, on. Research has indicated that AMF can influence various physiological processes in plants, facilitating nutrient absorption, increasing above-ground biomass accumulation, and improving light energy utilization efficiency by enhancing photosynthetic pigments and gas exchange parameters. The juice from fresh moringa leaves can be used to produce an effective plant growth hormone, increasing yields by 25% to 30% for nearly any crop: onions, bell pepper, soya, maize, sorghum, coffee, tea, chili, melon. Add 1 tablespoon of moringa powder and add to a little water and mix in a blender. If using as a foliar spray, you will need to strain through a cloth, or it will block your sprayer. Add to 3 liters of water and you have a liquid moringa fertilizer.
Procedure for mass multiplication of waste decomposer. The waste decomposer could be mass multiplied by a simple technique that is practically applicable to the farmers. This protocol is standardized by Krishan Chandra in 2015. Take 2 kilograms jaggery and mix it in a plastic drum containing 200 liters of water. Then take 1 bottle of decomposer, 30 grams, and pour all its contents in a plastic drum of 200 liters containing jaggery solution. Avoid direct contact of contents with hands. Mix it properly with a wooden stick for uniform distribution of waste decomposer in the drum. Cover the drum with a paper or cardboard and stir it every day once or twice. After 5 days, the solution of the drum turns creamy. The farmers could prepare the waste decomposer solution again and again from the mother culture solution by the addition of 20 liters of waste decomposer solution into a drum with 2 kilograms of jaggery and 200 liters of water. So, again it would be ready in 7 days.
Biofertilizers are the substances containing variety of microbes having the capacity to enhance plant nutrient uptake by colonizing the rhizosphere and make the nutrients easily accessible to plant root hairs. Biofertilizers are well known for their cost-effectiveness, environment-friendly nature, and composition. These are effective alternatives to the hazardous synthetic fertilizers.
Aerobic bacteria list. E. coli, Citrobacter, Klebsiella, Proteus, Salmonella, Achromobactin. Anaerobic bacteria list. Actinomyces, Bifidobacterium, Fusobacterium, Propionibacterium, Clostridium, Bacteroides, Prevotella. Aerobic bacteria, oxygenated environment. Examples of aerobic bacteria are Nocardia sp. Pseudomonas aeruginosa, E. coli, Citrobacter, Klebsiella, Proteus, Salmonella, Achromobactin, Mycobacterium tuberculosis. Anaerobic bacteria, without oxygen. Bacteroides, Bifidobacterium, Fusobacterium, Porphyromonas, Prevotella, Actinomyces. Propionibacterium, Clostridia, etc. are the examples of such bacteria. Anaerobic bacteria are medically significant as they cause many infections in the human body. For example, various species of Clostridia can cause food poisoning, soft tissue infection, etc., whereas Actinomyces can cause head, neck, abdominal and pelvic infections.
Boost beneficial bacteria in the soil, which is great for plant growth. Once the potatoes are boiled, let them cool down before moving on to the next step. Next, we are going to take a handful of sea salt. Why sea salt? It's packed with trace minerals like magnesium, calcium, and potassium, which are all essential for healthy plant growth. It gives the fertilizer an extra nutrient boost. But remember, only a small amount of salt is needed, just a handful. So don't overdo it. Now comes the compost. Compost is already rich in nutrients and full of microorganisms that improve soil health. We're going to take an equal amount of compost as the potatoes and add it to our mixture. Compost will help balance out the fertilizer, making it nutrient-dense and full of life. Now you can make a little sack or bundle by tying the cheesecloth securely. To make sure the pouch sinks in water and releases the nutrients properly, add a stone or some weight inside the bundle. This will help keep it submerged while it ferments, ensuring that all the good stuff gets into the liquid. After the pouch is ready, take about 3 liters of water. It's important that the water is non-chlorinated because chlorine can kill off beneficial microbes that we want to thrive in our fertilizer. Drop the pouch into the water. You'll need to use a container with a loose-fitting lid because during the fermentation process...
What does rice wash contain? It contains enough NPK or nitrogen, N, phosphorus, P, and potassium, K, fertilizers, which are the essential nutrients needed by all plants. The strained water after boiling rice is also beneficial to plants, and it contains more nutrients than the rice water derived from only washing. The coastline's natural resources have traditionally shaped the culture and economy of Kenya's coastal communities. Historically, fishing, primarily a male-dominated occupation, sustained the region economically. Yet, as this resource declined, it sparked a shift towards alternative income sources, prompting women to take on breadwinning roles to support their families. In Kibuyuni village, located in the southern Kenyan coastal area, this transition is particularly evident. The inhabitants rely on the mangrove ecosystem and the ocean as their primary natural resources. Fish hydrolysate. Beneficial microorganisms. The beneficial microorganisms present in fish hydrolysate play a vital role in enhancing soil fertility, nutrient cycling, disease suppression, overall plant health. These microorganisms include various bacteria and fungi that establish symbiotic relationships with plants, contributing to improved soil structure and nutrient availability.
Fish hydrolysate fertilizer is cold processed using natural beneficial cultures, retaining the proteins, amino acids, fats, oils, and trace elements in a bioavailable state. Liquid fish hydrolysate fertilizer benefits, increases fungal biomass, feeds beneficial microorganisms, delivers organic minerals, improves plant root development, aids soil moisture holding abilities.
Fish hydrolysate enzymes. Enzymes are protein molecules that catalyze biochemical reactions, playing a crucial role in nutrient cycling, organic matter decomposition, and soil structure improvement. Several enzymes present in fish hydrolysate have specific functions that enhance soil fertility and plant growth. Fish hydrolysate is rich in amino acids, which are like the building blocks of proteins. Amino acids are essential for plant growth, as they contribute to protein synthesis, enzyme activity, and various metabolic processes. Amino acids can also help improve nutrient uptake and plant resilience to stress. There will come a time when only those that know how to plant will be eating. Chief Oran Lyons. If you like African food systems content, please subscribe and share our channel with your friends and family, or if you're new here, hit the subscribe button so you make sure to never miss our weekly presentation podcast. Agriculture is tool to create health, wealth, shelter, protect environment, food, nutrition and basic skills development for our local communities.